Pathmark is the intelligent tool for website lead generation. With increasing online competition, over 98% of website visitors don't convert. The ability to successfully show your value proposition and support visitors in their buying journey separates you from the competition online. Pathmark qualifies and converts leads on your website by figuring out where they are in the buying journey and influencing them in key decision moments with relevant micro experiences like case studies, intro videos, and much more. Stay relevant to your visitors and increase conversions by 50%. Add Pathmark to your website in seconds. Let the AI do all the work and get access to 50% more qualified leads while you keep doing marketing and sales as usual. Check us out, pathmark.com. Welcome to today's episode. Let's talk about today's guest. We have Melissa Esbenshade from InEight, Senior Vice President of Marketing with them. How are you doing today, Melissa?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for asking. And well, I'm sure our listeners are tuning in, Melissa, wondering what InEight is all about. So let's kick it off with that. In your own words, can you tell us a little bit more?
Sure. InEight provides enterprise software to the construction industry, actually. Our software is specifically built to help manage and control some of the most important infrastructure projects across the world. So think about offshore wind farms, water infrastructure, semiconductor projects. And really the real differentiator we provide is that we connect data across all of the construction teams involved on those types of projects. And that connected information helps those teams make better decisions so that they can improve productivity, maintain their margins in a relatively low margin space, and reduce risk.
Okay, great to hear that there from you, Melissa. And so that way our listeners could get a good understanding then of your company is, what would be that key problem that you guys like to solve that for your clients?
Yeah, it's really about those most complicated construction projects. And a great example would be, I don't know where you're based, Ernesto, but the Frederick Douglass Tunnel in Baltimore on the East Coast is a great project that'll be kicking off in a couple of years here. And they have to replace a tunnel that's, I think, is over 150 years old. It has a sinking floor. There's water infiltration, huge transportation bottleneck on the East Coast. So Amtrak has to build a new tunnel. AECOM is the company that's managing the delivery of the project. And then Kiewit is one of the contractors doing the actual construction work. So our software helps all of those people on that project keep communication flowing so that project stays on schedule and on budget. And it's really, it's a huge task. That project's anticipated to run until 2035. So to keep something going on schedule and on budget over that long time period, over 9 years, is a huge task. So that's what we're all about.
Definitely, and that's a huge task. And so that way, I don't want to assume here, right? But what is InEight only for constructions, or is there another vertical segment that you guys like to go for as well?
We're focused on construction and some of those most complicated construction projects.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. Great to hear that. And so say I was in the construction business, how would I usually find out about InEight? Is there a top client acquisition channel for you guys?
Yeah. And, like many software organizations that sell to large enterprise companies, we have a long buying cycle and really, significantly large buying committees. So our marketing job is to build engagement throughout that journey and to do that efficiently. We think a lot about who the audience should be and the intent signals that they're giving us. We have a graphic, if you can imagine it, in our marketing plan that starts at the very core of those audience priorities. And at that very center are our strategic pursuits that we identify in conjunction with our sales team. And we maximize paid investment to reach and engage that audience. And then the, concentric circle, the next round is our ICP, showing intent, maximize investment there, and then our SAM, showing intent. So, you kind of get the picture. We focus our investment on the highest priority accounts and then optimize different channels based on their performance to reach those accounts. LinkedIn webinars are significant drivers of engagement for us. along those lines. And so we see a lot of kind of forward progress in the buying journey through those two channels specifically. And of course, our website. If it helps, we recently changed our metrics so that we can be more aligned to the business outcomes as opposed to just focusing on marketing qualified leads. Instead, we're focusing on getting the right people to the website, nurturing the buying committee signals that they're giving us, with a goal of contributing directly to the pipeline with new pipeline opportunities. So less lead focused and more pipeline focused.
Definitely important. All right, great to hear that. And you were talking about so that the websites, and so that way our listeners could get could go ahead and visit you. They could always check you out at InEight.com. So then, does the website then play a part of the client acquisition for you guys?
Yeah, it's critical for our journey, and we tend to emphasize supporting researchers on the buying committee, the people that are have been tasked with going out and finding the right software to address their pain points. We have so many products. We have 16 separate products that we're trying to represent. So for us, it's always that fine line on the website of providing enough information versus overwhelming someone on our site. We've iterated over the years, and we're just now embarking on another iteration of the website. Honestly, in the past, much of our content and navigation's been product led versus buying journey led. And so we're undertaking all that hard work of aligning to the buying journey and the buying committee on the site.
Definitely important. All right. So then on that note, then Melissa, is there any other types of tools or methods, tips that you would recommend to our listeners?
Yeah, I think, for us, it may be, maybe for more traditional marketers, it may be a bit counterintuitive. But for us, giving our visitors multiple paths, and those paths don't always include filling out a traditional lead form. Instead, we're really trying to give them opportunities to signal that they're ready. So, focusing the content on information that answers their questions without forcing them to book a demo. And then, along those lines, some of the successful tests we've run are giving visitors that choice on which signal to give, whether they want to get in deeper and learn more, or, raise their hand to talk to someone and ready to actually get their hands on our product. So combined, that's given us a great bump in overall engagement by doing that. And I know PathMonk on your site does a great job of that as well. So I think we're all changing how we view that experience. And I guess the other thing I'd say is that, and this just hit our team earlier this month, but don't forget the basics. We just recently repositioned this rogue form on our website, and we saw these huge, pretty dramatic increases in conversion. So I think sometimes we can also all forget about the standard maintenance and upkeep of things we know we should be doing, and those can have a really nice impact too.
Definitely, and well, thank you so much for that plug there.
Yeah.
And let's switch gears then a little bit, and let's talk about you as a leader. You being the senior vice president of marketing there for InEight, what are some key tasks you like to focus on your day-to-day work?
Yeah. I have a great team, so I can split my time out pretty nicely on a few areas. So one, most important is that I take time to step back and assess, are we hitting our goals? What's getting in our way? Scanning the market, whether that's talking with customers or viewing competitors, where do we have gaps in our strategy? So I like to spend a significant amount of time doing just that. Secondarily, I focus on strategic projects with our team. Right now, we're just finishing a CRM migration. So I've been spending a good chunk of time with our team on that CRM migration. And then the other two areas are really kind of more day-to-day. So I work with the team on decisions we're making, optimizations to our plan, and then partnering cross-functionally to make sure we're all in lockstep on our go-to-market strategy.
Definitely important. Okay, perfect. It sounds like you have a full plate, but really organized there. And so in the between time, Melissa, how do you stay up to date with all the marketing news, trends, strategies out there? Is there a preferred channel that you like to stay up to date with?
Yeah, I do have one, and it's a bit of a plug too. They get a lot of press, but I think it's worth it. So, all the content, I think marketers, we're serial content consumers. So I do all those things, but we partner with a company called 6sense for our ABM efforts. And they have a forum called a CMO Coffee Talk, and we have a Slack channel as well. But that forum happens every Friday, and they really deserve to be recognized for it because the content is so good, and we have such a candid dialogue on that. And it's 250 plus CMOs every Friday, live on video, talking together. We recently talked about forecasting and how you improve your forecasting efforts. We've talked about positioning, and not just the active product positioning, but the change management associated with positioning. And so I try not to miss a single week, and that's a lot, right? To commit an hour every Friday, but there's just such a great level of depth in the conversation. The positioning was so timely for us because we're in the midst of refresh product positioning work, and it really helped us think about the change management approach for our business and how we engage the entire business in that positioning work. So everyone's bought into that.
It's not the first time I hear about that coffee talk and that community. So it sounds like it's a great channel there for all CMOs. So awesome to hear that.
Yeah.
Awesome. So well, let's then jump into our next section then here, Melissa, which is our rapid fire question rounds. Are you ready for them?
Sure.
Awesome. So first up is, what is the last book that you read?
Yeah, actually, it came out of that CMO Coffee Talk. It's called Sales Pitch by April Dunford. So really nice defined approach to rethink your sales presentation. And what's been great is our sales leaders have all read it too. And our team in EMEA is implementing some recommendation and road testing a new sales presentation with their prospective customers. So it's been a really, not only a great read, but a great tool for us.
Okay, great to hear that. Next up then is, what is one single thing that your company is focused on at the moment the most?
That InEight is focused on, or our marketing is focused on, or both?
That is focused on her at the moment.
Yeah, we recently launched a new product to the market. It's called InEight Schedule. And it's a really unique a really unique software that addresses the challenges in these complicated construction scheduling efforts. And there's been tools out there forever, but our tool brings a nice blend of kind of inclusiveness across an organization to reduce risk and improve accuracy in that scheduling process. And so we're excited about the momentum we're seeing with that product release. There's a lot of interest in it. We're excited about the marketing effort that we've put behind it. It's really kind of game changing in the space. And so as a marketer, it's fun to be able to work on a product that's so differentiated in the space and can also help improve really important work that's going out there in our infrastructure projects.
Definitely important. All right, great to hear that. Right, I mean, like competition, you're going after giants, right? Like Oracle. So that's to see, right?
Mm-hmm.
And well, next up then, Melissa, is, if there would be no boundaries in technology, what would be that one thing that you want to have fixed for your role as a marketer today?
Yeah, one thing we're struggling with is helping make sense of all of our marketing technology point solutions that we use, making sure we're using all the functionality of each solution, integrating them where it makes sense. And I think about it a lot, not just because it's a pain point, but because it's something that InEight solves for our customers too. And so, we're actively assessing it all, understanding where we need to add tech, particularly AI, because we know it could be an advantage. You mentioned us competing against Oracle. We compete against some large companies, and I know we're faster, we could be smarter, we're more nimble, but it also takes resources to manage all the tech and a growing, technical skill set for our marketing team. So it is, it's a challenge that we work through every day. So if there were a magic wand to help make that easier and better, I'd love it.
Definitely. Okay. Awesome to hear that. Next is, if there's one repetitive task that you could automate, what would that be?
Yeah. It's probably top of mind because of our CRM migration, but if we could automate campaign setup for our efforts, and I think it would remove some redundancy or labor, but also improve the quality and accuracy. So, for example, when we set up a new campaign in our CRM, we're creating it there, we're connecting it to a parent campaign, we're assigning UTMs, we're setting up the tracking in GA4, and the list just goes on and on and on. And we're really specific with our approach because we're so data driven. But it takes a lot of time and energy to do that.
Definitely does. All right. Well, perfect. Thank you so much for sharing that. And well, lastly, Melissa, I mean, you have tons of experience already in the marketing world, but what is that one piece of advice that you would give yourself if you were to restart your journey as a marketer today?
Yeah. It's something, there's two things actually, if that's okay, that I typically share when we bring on a group of interns to InEight. One, and you probably feel the same way on this first one, is don't shy away from a turnaround or a startup. You can learn so much so quickly in that dynamic environment. So I always recommend that, and to take the risk, go for it. And the second one, which maybe is somewhat related, is when you reach a fork in your career road, or even for your personal road, any choice is your choice, obviously, and it's not a bad choice. But I found that knowing why you make that choice and being really overt about it is important. So, like, you could say, I made the choice, or I did the thing that was safe, or I did the thing that was brave, or fun, or unique, or risky. But I think by really reflecting on why you made that choice, you can then do the best with it, right? If you kind of ignore why you really made that choice, I think you miss out on opportunity and making it the best next step for you.
Well, all right, Break. Some great advice there, not just for yourself, but for all our listeners. Thank you so much, Melissa. And well, we are coming to the end of the show, but before we do end, Melissa, I do want to give you the last word. So say someone forgets everything about the interview today. What is that one thing they should remember about InEight?
That we're the only software out there that can really meet the needs of the complicated construction projects that make the world go around.
There you guys heard it. Check them out at InEight.com, the integrated construction management software. Get complete project visibility and confidence. Melissa, thank you so much for being on with us today. To our listeners, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'm looking forward to our next episode at Pathmark Presents. Thanks a lot, Melissa.
Thank you.